October the 16th, and the Blue Jays won yesterday, so I'm a bit happy about that. They're still down 2-1, but building the Gingerbread AT-AT today, which I'm excited to get into. Looks like an interesting set, and yeah, should be a fun build. So um, interesting. The how it's presented there is slightly different. What I'm used to seeing. All right, let's get into this. So there's one minifigure in this you're starting off with right away, and that is with Mr. Gingerbread Darth Vader. Before putting it on the figure, I just want to highlight this cape because it is really quite a nice piece. Great printing on that. Really cool piece. Just a plain medium nougat head for him, and that's about it. I know there's been talk about like ideally having his eyes printed. It's like the one thing I've seen on the figure. But no, this is it's a really cool figure. Very interesting one. Yeah, this is a cool one. Wouldn't mind seeing more of these gingerbread guys in I don't know, the advent calendars or something like that. That would be kind of fun. All right, on to the actual build itself. So the Technic interior of it. I realize now, I think this might actually be the first time I've built an AT-AT. In my head, I've built one, but it's been a while and I can't remember if I have or not. But I know I built the First Order, whatever it's called, from The Last Jedi. But I can't remember, because I definitely didn't buy the last one. I've actually built an AT-AT before. I don't know. A lot of Technic pins to start this guy off. I'm interested to see sort of what the size of this thing is. Of course, it's only 697 pieces, so it's not going to be anything too big. But it'd be interesting to see. But certainly, just by the look of the size of these pieces, and the fact that I'm assuming what I'm building now is sort of the main part of the thing, it's not going to be big at all, but it certainly is big enough to fit Darth Vader in there in a couple compartments, so it's big enough for that. So I guess there's some sort of space in here, but yeah, this is definitely going to be a very interesting Lego Star Wars set. Very different than the usual sets, and I think that's fun. I think one of my favorite sets from this year, even though I have not purchased it. I don't think I've actually bought any of the August 1st sets, is the Hot Rod Snowspeeder. I think that one's really interesting, really cool. And yeah, I think some of the best sets from this year, or two of the best ones that I can think of. Of course, I haven't built this one yet, so I really can't judge it too much. I'll wait till after I finished it. But I think just by the looks of things, two of my favorites are these sort of weird ones that I think are sort of interesting and different than the usual stuff. So yeah, I'm excited to see this one. Yeah, I guess this is sort of the main component of it, so it's definitely not gonna be huge, but it looks like it's most of the interior in this bag. I believe there's 4 bags. By the looks of it, it's dark orange. They use medium nougat for the Darth Vader figure, similar to the gingerbread figures of the past, whether that's that one from the minifigure series quite a few years ago, or the gingerbread house sets, which I believe all use medium nougat. So this one, for the main build of it, using dark orange is a little bit different. I love dark orange though, definitely one of my favorite colors in the Lego color palette. But yeah, looks like they're also going to fit in a little bit of medium nougat in there as well. But this one's already off to a pretty fun start. I'm liking it so far. The colors here, it's very different than what uh, what you usually get from a Lego Star Wars set, and I think that's what this one. What's so fun about this one? So, I think this one's done pretty well. I think it went on back order, and I think it seemed to sell pretty well. I got this a week or so ago, so I think it was after a restock of the set. But it seems like it's doing well, which is nice to see, and I hope that bodes well for more sets like this in the future, because I think this seems like a really fun and interesting concept. I also like the just price point of them. I definitely wouldn't have wanted this thing to be some huge thing. Of course, if it was, it would sort of scale nicely with the X-Wing and stuff like that, but I'm happy with the scale that they chose for this one. Just seems like the best way to go about it for this seasonal and sort of random one-off thing, and hopefully not a one-off thing. I'd love a snow speeder to go with it. That'd be fun. Of course, that given the size of this thing would be tiny if you wanted to have the two things scale next to each other. So maybe that's not ideal. But yeah, it's a fun one, and definitely an interesting concept. Seems like it's getting into a bit more of the interior bits of the set now, and I guess it will grow a little bit in size. That's around the neck. From what I've seen, I don't think there's a ton of articulation when it comes to the build. I think, of course, you can move the legs, I think, back and forth, but I don't think there's anything more than that. But yeah, I guess this particular bag is more building up the skeleton of the set, and then it will be all the light details and a bit more of the interior details later on. But so far it's been dark orange, reddish brown, and a bit of medium nougat as the main colors, and there's actually a decent amount of white to come up next, which I guess will make up, I would assume, more of the interior. But interested to see those interior spaces and what those look like. Looks like a little present now, which is fun little bit. I think I like this one more than I do the Winter Village set this year, but I'm interested to and excited to build that train. I think out of all the Winter Village sets, the original train and train station that came after it was probably sort of my least favorite years of the sub theme. But this one looks. I like the color of this year's one. So I just cut my nails today. So they're not very sharp, and now I need to try to separate this thing because I can't. Oh, there we go. That was easier than I thought it was going to be. I can't read simple instruction manuals and put the piece on top of the wrong piece. There we go. And we've got the green. I don't trying to think of what exactly the color of these presents could possibly represent, but I can't really think of anything really that fits in terms of Star Wars stuff. All right, where are you? 1x2 plate. Oh, I can't see. There we go. So I guess there will be a little bit of interior space. So that'll be fun to see. Check out. Did it again. Put a piece on top of a piece I wouldn't or shouldn't have. Love all this dark orange in the set though. That's definitely a very fun color. What have I done here? Done something. I can't follow the instructions as it turns out. There we go. That'll do it. That solves the issue. Just needed a couple more 1x2 parts. And there we go. And that should fit on there nicely. Alright. There we go. Back to the dark orange. It's interesting. I think I like the choice of dark orange for this one, even though I guess it doesn't necessarily now match the rest of the gingerbread builds across a variety of themes. But it definitely, I like that the Darth Vader figure itself doesn't match with the build. I think that's a nice aspect of the choice of it being dark orange. Looks like it's a little fireplace build now. Bit of light bluish gray, what I would assume is a carpet. And I am assuming they're using this piece so that you're able to open it up, unless it folds upwards, which I think it does. There's some Technic pins there. No, it's just a table, never mind. Ooh, I've wanted a few more of these plate pieces. I haven't used them all that much. They're interesting. Alright. I guess actually the entire interior might be finished up by the end of this one. By the looks of it, it might be. All right. All right. So I would assume that for the next 3 bags, 1 bag would be associated to the head, 1 bag to the legs, and then 1 to get the actual panel doors on there. I guess the white aspects are for the icing, which makes sense. There was certainly a lot of those elements throughout the previous gingerbread related sets. I really like the look of the little gingerbread house they came out with this year for just the, I don't even know what the theme is, just the random seasonal set that comes out, or sets that come out every year. I don't really know where you'd look for those on. If you're going to LEGO's website and went by themes, I don't entirely know which one it would be. But the looks nice, so I definitely want to pick that one up. A little chair there, the candy cane piece, which I think is going to appear a little bit later on as the guns of the set. I guess that's probably to attach Darth Vader's lightsaber. Some more reddish brown and dark orange elements. I guess it's starting to, I think I'm really gonna like the size of this thing. It's not gonna take up too much space, but it's just gonna be a nice little set. I think when I finally sit down to think about it, on what I think are the best sets of this year for LEGO Star Wars, I wouldn't be surprised when this one is high up there for me, because it's pretty fun. Okay, there we go, there goes a piece. Oh, there's actually 5 bags, not 4. 3, there we go. And it looks like it is on to the panel bits. larger elements in this one. They're getting a bit more red now into it, red and green by the looks of it, but just as much dark orange. All right. Definitely some interesting dark orange parts here. A lot of different types of dark orange plates. Definitely one of my favorite colors in the Lego catalog of parts. It's a nice one. I like it. Definitely up there for me on current colors parts. It's great to use it here. You'd think there'd be a little bit more in Lego Star Wars, considering you've got a planet that you could have a ton of dark orange on if they made Geonosis stuff. But there's not all that much of that out, or have been out, so I feel like this has got to be the set for Lego Star Wars with some of the most dark orange in it, because usually all dark bluish gray and light bluish gray and black and dark blue. I guess this year with the Separatist set. Did a good job covering up the gaps there in that particular section of the build, which is nice. Oh, bit of a different build for it this time. Similar idea, but slightly different, and a few tiles to get the icing elements added to the gingerbread build. And this one as well, the addition of a few of these elements really helps close up some of the gaps that you'd get. There's still a few, but there's not really all that many colors that you wouldn't want to see, and I guess it is a gingerbread thing, so it's never going to be fully sealed up, just like a normal gingerbread, but I'm liking how they're covering up the gaps pretty well so far, so that's definitely a nice part of the set to see. I don't know what section of the build this is going to be. I don't think it's... actually, no, I guess it could be the head. I think it is. No, I believe you can't actually fit Vader in the head of the set, if I've seen it correctly. Yeah, the candlestick pieces here are kind of a fun... I don't know if I've seen the red candlestick piece before. I don't know if that's a recolor of the piece, but it's cool when the candlestick piece is getting a cool use and effect here. So I guess it is the head for this one. It looks like it's the legs, or at least a set of legs in the next bag. But I don't know if you can actually close down the hatch of the head of it with Vader in it or not. I think you can fit him in there, of course, without it closed, but I don't think you can close it down. But maybe I'm wrong, and maybe you can. Ooh, these nice slopes here, popularized by Speed Champions, which is having quite the January next year. That Back to the Future set, that looks like a really nice Speed Champions set. I have that original Ideas one, or at least I have it in some form, I don't have it built anymore, and it's in some bin of parts. But at one point I had it built. But yeah, it definitely seems like a huge improvement on that one. Some nice figures in there, and really nice build. So excited to pick that one up, but more excited about picking up Lightning McQueen, which I think I saw actually sell out, or not sell out, the pre-orders were closed for it, which makes sense, I guess, because the double points is currently running, and you can get double points on pre-orders, so sort of makes sense, I guess. But I'm assuming there would be some sort of promo January 1st. There usually is, so we'll see. Might have to pre-order one or two of those Batmobiles for March 1st with the double points, but I guess there's always the next double VIP points Black Friday. But I think I will order a few things though, some retiring stuff. This double points to get it before the stuff starts to sell out. I think the Jazz Club is probably my top thing that I want to pick up before it retires from this year's retirees. I like the mix of medium nougat and dark orange so far in the build. Definitely more dark orange, but I do like the inclusion of the medium nougat to change it up a little bit along the build. It's definitely a nice mix of colors, and definitely doesn't feel like a Star Wars set while building it. Very, very different than pretty much anything I've built from Lego Star Wars, but that's not all that much of a surprise just by the look of the thing. A few more of the candy cane pieces added on there, which is a cool addition. Alright, and the other panel of the head. I quite like the shaping of it. It seems quite nice and accurate to what I can remember AT-AT looking like from Empire Strikes Back. Yeah, cool little bit. I love these little sloped elements and what they add to it. It's kind of cool, these larger sloped elements. There's just something about them I quite like whenever they're included. Some of the gumdrops. And there. Same technique as the last section. Couple Technic pins. Yeah, Darth Vader's definitely not fitting in that thing with the hatch of it closed. But it's I guess that's all right. I'd definitely rather have him outside at the thing than in it. Anyways, it's cool. Definitely a very nice minifigure. But yeah. Alright. And this longer Technic pin. in there. The neck, I'm just going to keep that bit of the build stationary by the looks of it. I don't think you're going to be able to move that. Yeah, definitely won't be able to move that, which there's definitely not a ton of articulation with this guy so far. Now I've got a 1x2 that I don't like tile. I don't entirely like having an extra one of it. Doesn't really feel like an extra piece type of piece. So let me see where exactly I didn't put a 1x2. I don't think it was on these side panels. Oh, there we go. It's the little seating area. Definitely not overly easy access into it. A very small space for seating, but Mr. Darth Vader can sit in there, just not with the thing closed down. Alright, now I'm gonna add the head onto this thing. Alright, bag 3. Building 4 of these, so I guess they're gonna, at least this particular section of it is the exact same. Ooh, I don't think I've seen this one before. I've seen the sort of single-sided one, but I don't remember seeing one quite like that. Interesting. Whole lot of pins to add on to this guy. Need to do 4 of these. Alright, 2 down, 2 to go. That's an interesting part. I can't remember seeing it before. It seems like a really useful one, but I can only think of the single or one-sided one instead of just having it at both, which is gonna definitely help some articulation on a few different things. I don't know if it is a newer element, but I can't remember a time in which I've used it. That's for sure. Alright, 1x3 on there. Alright. Plates to it. Definitely a whole lot of dark orange now on this bag for the legs. I guess there's a few other elements. Probably shouldn't build it upside down. That probably would not be best for the stability of the walker. So I'll do that. Alright, some icing. Add it on to it. stability and covering up some nice elements like the addition of that. Very useful structurally, but adds a nice little accent color to the side of the leg elements. Luckily, since the pins are red and there's a relatively decent amount of red in the build, they don't stand out all that much. You're going to see them on the underside of it, the back side of the legs, but they don't stand out as much as most pins will, because it's an accent color of the build, which is always nice with the Technic pins, is they can be quite unsightly when they stand out, when the color doesn't fit. But when the color does fit, it's not all that bad. Alright. Same thing, just on the other side. I like this this part of it. It's definitely necessary for the structure, at least on the last part of it, not as much this part of it, but adds some nice thickness to the legs. Definitely a nice little detail. I'm enjoying this one. I think in the end, I think this is going to be one of my favorite LEGO Star Wars sets of the year. I don't think it's going to beat the Slave One, which I think the UCS one. Can't believe I can say the Slave One and then have to clarify whether it's the playset or the UCS one. Having two in the year is just quite something. The UCS one was just such a fun build and a really nice final product. So that's definitely I think going to be the top one of the year for me. This one is certainly going to be up there, because it's a cool little one. I like it, really do. Don't entirely remember how much this was. I should check that before. I think it was like 80 or something, 80 Canadian, which seems relatively alright for it. And if it's like last year's, or like any of the seasonal sets for Star Wars that have come up, if it goes on sale, it'd be even better. Okay, there goes a part of it. Where'd it go? Okay, we have to find that, because that's sort of important. Huh. Okay. Yeah, I have no clue where that went. If that went under a table, that's not gonna go too well. Alright, I need to go find this thing before I continue on with this build, or else the legs are gonna be missing a little bit of detail. Let me get these 3 ones done, and then I'll worry about finding my missing part that I've dropped. A lot of little gum-dropping candy elements, as would be expected on a gingerbread house. There we go. Now, oh, it was right under my foot. That's a lot easier to get than I thought it was going to be. Wonderful. Alright. And that's in place there. That's in place there. There we go. And there we go. All right. Bag 4. Let's start the feet bag 4. Ooh, that's a cool piece. Adds to the candy nature of the build with the little dripping parts off the edge of the piece. That's a nice little addition. Alright, 4 of these. Some medium nougat. Bit of dark orange. Alright. That's number 1. I guess one bit of LEGO news from this week that I haven't covered because I haven't had a stream since then is the current list of minifigures for Minas Tirith next year, which I'm excited for. It seems like an interesting set of minifigures. I guess with any of these new Lord of the Rings sets, the figures that get me most excited are the ones we haven't gotten before. So Faramir and Denethor are really exciting for me. Also, those Gondor soldiers are really exciting. The new outfit that Pippin will be getting is exciting. Gandalf the White and in the King Aragorn figure a bit less so, because I've got the original ones of those guys. But for the new things, I'm very excited to get some new characters, and very excited for that one. If there's a promo to go alongside it, I'll probably be picking that one up, like I have with the Shire and Barad-dûr. Those promos have definitely driven me to pick up those sets. But those were both fun builds. I enjoyed them. But I think I've got the VIP points necessary to get Rivendell if I wanted to, without spending anything. I guess I'd probably have to pay the tax on it, and yeah, excited to pick up Rivendell for pretty much $0, I guess. Yeah, I don't know when because I don't think it's retiring for another year or so. So when I saw that, I've been thinking of potentially getting the Lion Knight's castle with the VIP points that I've got, because I know that's retiring this year. The more I look at it, the more I kind of want it. But at the same time, I don't know where I'm going to put that big box. Nor do I know where I'm going to put the big box for Rivendell too. But then if I get both, I've got 2 big boxes to find a place for. Alright, that's for these guys. Yeah, excited to pick that one up. I do, some really nice sloped elements here to get a nice rounded effect around the feet, and then this melted piece effect, which is a really cool piece and definitely adds to the candy nature of it all. Couple little bows added on to it, and a little bit more of the candy elements. That melted piece definitely is a cool addition to it. That's definitely quite nice. I like that. All right, that's the first one of the bunch done. Definitely a lot less dark orange for the feet than the rest of the build. It's sort of reddish brown is sort of the main color for this, as well as white with more accents of uh, dark orange. But yeah, I really like the melted piece. I think it's a piece I've seen before, but a really cool part usage for this particular build and for the scale of the build, because it works perfectly for this particular section of the build. It's the type of piece that I feel like if I was designing a build, it's the type of piece that I'd sort of want to design the build around. It would sort of almost determine the scale of the thing to me. It's sort of, I'm thinking like designing buildings and stuff. There'll be certain elements that I really will like and design it after that. But yeah, it's a cool part that I feel like, I don't know if it did, but feels like the type of part that, at least to me, you'd almost try to design the build around, because it just fits so well within it. But yeah, it's a cool part, like it. Alright, a few more of the bows. This is foot number 3. And then it's just the doors, I believe, for the final bag of the set. I guess you'll have a bit more articulation with the feet, is where you'll get a little bit of articulation. Definitely nothing at the neck. I don't even think, yeah, that can't even swivel side to side now. Why you would want it to swivel side to side, it's beyond me, considering you have people in there. Or I guess in this case you don't have anyone in there, because you can't really have anyone piloting the thing when the thing is closed. But yeah, it's an interesting scale build, because the cockpit area is not really scaled for minifigures. The interior section, of course, is. It's tight, but it fits them. But the head, a bit less so. But yeah, I'm happy with the scale that they went for this thing. I definitely don't think I want it to be any bigger than it is, or any more than it is. I think this is definitely the way to go with these seasonal sets. I think this is the best way to approach them, instead of like a $200 AT-AT, I think is what they are now. So yeah, I think it's a better way to go, like this, than anything else. Alright, get these boots on this thing. And this one attached, I'll be able to stand it up. Get it into an actual pose once it's finished. I think it'll look a bit more interesting. Definitely extremely static looking right now. Alright, bag 5, final bag of the set. And a whole lot of small elements, but also a few large ones too. These 4x4 tiles are a very nice piece. I quite like them. Also nice that they don't have sort of the dimple element that the larger 8x8, I believe, or 6x6, I think it's 8x8, have. But I believe they've actually sort of gone away with that in a way, because I know the new Robert Pattinson Batmobile set from March has that element, and I think it doesn't have that sort of dimple in the center of the piece, because I think they almost remolded it or something to take that away, as well as I think it's either shiny or it's matte. I think it's a bit shinier. I think that's what they changed with it. Yeah, these 4x4 ones don't deal with that. Yeah, they're nice pieces. Definitely useful in this context. A whole lot of tiles for this particular section of the build. Looks like you can have a little bit of a wreath on the interior of the build, which is fun. Would have been kind of cool to see a snow trooper in this one as a additional figure, but I think Vader here is a fine one to get. But I definitely want to get more of these gingerbread ones now that we've got one of them. So next year's advent calendar maybe, or if they do another one like this one, I'd love to see some more of these guys. I think a stormtrooper, I think, is the one I kind of want to see the most. I think that'd be a fun one to go along with this one. I guess a TIE fighter definitely. So then a TIE fighter pilot would make the most sense there. But I think a TIE fighter definitely feels like the next logical way to go about it. That they've, or just do a new version of the X-Wing, which I'm sure might ruffle a few feathers for the few people who are holding on to the original one. I think I've seen that one a couple times. Actually, I was at Bricks and the Six, which is a Lego convention close to me in Toronto, and I think last year for the charity auction, they had one of those. I don't remember how much it went for, but I don't think it was actually like that. It's definitely high, but I don't think it was anything higher than what you'd expect for it. If anything, it was a little less. But it's a cool set. Definitely an interesting one. Alright. I love how they've done the wreath here. That's a nice part of the set, building in on the anti-studs of the rest of it. Of course, having the anti-studs exposed, it doesn't look necessarily as pretty as it would look if it was the other way around, but it's not too bad. I don't mind it. Alright, and this element, which I would assume is going to be associated with the lights that will be attached to it, and with that, I can attach this up here, this here, and we've got the first of the main panels of this guy. I'm really loving this guy. I think this is one of my favorite Star Wars sets I've built in a while. The UCS Slave one, the Jango's one this year was definitely a big highlight, but this one of like non-UCS or really big sets, this one's really a standout to me of Star Wars sets that I've built recently. It's really fun and interesting, and definitely want to pick up that Hot Rod Snow Speeder sometime soon, because I think I might get the same sort of feeling out of that one, something different and interesting. Yeah, cool build, fun build. Definitely gonna have to put this guy next to the gingerbread house from a few years back. Almost, if this guy does go on sale, start of next year, whenever that these seasonal sets tend to go on sale, if it does, might have to pick up another one of these, because I think it'd be kind of fun to have a few of these alongside that gingerbread house and the other gingerbread themed Lego items. But yeah, it's a cool one. I want now, just getting near the end of this guy. I really want more of these guys. They're really fun. I hope this. I thought last year's one was pretty good. The battle pack, the celebration battle pack, and I thought that the Falcon interior one was good. But this one is really quite nice. Actually, I realized I don't think I've built. I have a couple of them. At least I think I have a couple of them. I know I for sure have one, but I think I might have given someone the other one of last year's battle pack. I don't think I've actually built one of those. I don't know if it's sold out yet or if it's gone, but should probably, if it hasn't, get another one of those to pick up and build. Yeah. All right. There we go. And now to top that off with some plates. Oh, 1x4s, or 2x4s, never mind. Dark orange. Very nice color, dark oranges. It's a one speaking like Yoda there. Alright, more little gumdrop and candy elements. Few more of those. A whole lot of small elements now for the rest of the build to finish off the little details of this guy. I think the more I look at it, I love the size of it so much that I'd really like to have a couple of these guys. They're cool, but definitely gonna wait on ideally a sale for that before I do that. But I don't know. I wouldn't mind building a little Christmas diorama type display with a few of these guys. They're cool. I like them. I guess some of these are to put on the light bits. And I guess that's the next step, is the first one of these. Oh, these are lovely. This is one part of these Christmas sets I don't love doing, because it's just so hard to get these perfectly lined up, is these connecting bits to these rubber parts, because the part itself is not entirely straight. Never is, because it's bent in the box. So it's hard to get it just perfectly aligned there to do what you'd want with it. Yeah. I guess Christmas lights, whenever they come out of a box, are never all that straight, so I guess it doesn't entirely matter that much. But yeah, already dealing with it. I just hate how they're not as straight as they probably should be. But a whole lot of studs now added onto this part of the build. I guess with the train and not having a building, I shouldn't have to deal with this when I build the Christmas train for this year. Uh, of course, in saying that, it probably does happen because they seem to like to have this version or this technique of builds. There's a Ninjago movie set that I remember that also had a similar concept to this. There we go. That's actually not too bad. Okay, and now that'll hook onto there, which will hook onto there, and that looks really nice. How they space that out, that's really quite nice. I like that. I like that a lot. Oh, 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 not a good idea. I haven't seen this before, where you've had two parts attached to the same area. Feels a bit odd of a technique. Definitely covers up everything, but that's actually really nice. I love how those lights are spaced out. That's really quite nice. Very, very nice job there designing that. The final result of this guy, it's getting way too close to this silly little Gingerbread AT-AT becoming my favorite Star Wars set of the year. I don't know if it can beat the Slave one. That was a great set, and I love the final result of that one, and I think it's a great build. But this little guy is I'm liking it quite a bit. Too much. I love that the stupid little seasonal set is, out of all the sets from this year, it's going to be one of my favorites from LEGO Star Wars. I feel like that's not a good thing. You know, I think the year should probably have better sets than the seasonal set beating out the regular releases. But they did a good job with this one. Very good job. Quite pleased with it. In the last few gumdrop elements, and then we get to end off the build on the wonderful technique of trying to line up all the parts onto these rubber pieces. Fun. Oh, that's not good. There we go. All right. Okay, that's pretty good. That was lined up well. Pleased with that. Pleased with that. All right, the other side now. All right, just over an hour on this guy, and pretty pleased with this set. I really like this. Alright, think I'm lining it up pretty well this time. So, pleased with that. Alright, the green ones. I think I'm gonna need one more red one. It's the same. It is. Alright, that's it. Get that guy in there. And this one in there. And now line this guy up, leave the space there so I can attach the additional red one. There we go. And the last light. And line that up, straighten that up. And I think that is that. Now it's time to just pose this guy a little bit so it looks a little bit more organic than the perfectly straight legs that don't present it as well. Okay, back one. There we go. Okay. What have I done here? Need this one. Maybe it's this one. Is it this one? Yeah, it's this one. Alright. How's that look? Legs are a bit too far back. How's that? That's better. Looks alright. Alright, and that is the Gingerbread AT-AT. That's a really good little set. I like it. Pew. There you go. There's the little candy canes. The doors folding up and up that way. Ooh. Cool. That's that. There is Mr. Darth Vader. And that is this year's seasonal set, the Gingerbread AT-AT. Great little set. I definitely would recommend it. Fun little build. And the final result looks great. So, yeah. Thanks for watching the stream and anyone watching it later. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.